Hey guys, welcome to the Commander Lounge. I know it's been a while since I put up some content, and I apologize, but I've been kind of busy. But here you go. I got a new Commander deck for you guys. I've been playing. I've been playing my Modern Revolt Zoo deck a good bit, and I just thought about it, and I was like, you know what, I want to like stay on Zoo theme. I was like, let's build a Zoo Commander deck. So this is my mono green Zoo Commander deck. Just giving you guys a heads up, this is not a competitive deck. This is mainly for flavor. This is mainly a theme deck. Like I'm talking about, like not like Zoo, like I'm gonna beat you in the face and win the game as quick as possible. I'm talking about Zoo, like lions and tigers and bears kind of stuff. So, with that said, let's get into it. So we start out with Selvala, Heart of the Wilds. By the way, she is a fantastic general. She's a really good mono green general just to begin with. She's 2 green, 1 colorless. She's a 2/3 elf scout. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, its controller may draw a card for its power. If its power is greater than each other creature's power. So this can be kind of a huggy card too. People can really like this card. That's also going big with creatures, going Timmy style. And then also it has green tap to add X mana any color combinations to your mana pool, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. So it also ramps. It ramps and it draws you card. It's like the perfect card in green. This could definitely be a competitive general if you want it to be. Alright, so let's get into the lands. Start with utility lands, Reliquary Tower. We like to have no maximum hand size when we draw a lot. Rogue's Passage, we want to get our big things through and deal damage. Tectonic Edge, we got to get rid of problem lands. Good way to do it. Temple of the False God, it is ramp. Why not? High Market. When you finally do get a big thing online, you don't want anybody to take it. So you can protect it. Well, not protect it, but kill it. Mossfort Bridge, it's a good hideaway card. If you guys don't know what hideaway, you look at when it comes in the battlefield, it comes in tapped. You look at the top 4 cards of your library, exile 1 face down, then put the rest on the bottom of your library. Taps for green, of course, but you can pay green. You may play the exile card without paying its mana cost if you control if the cost of creatures is total power is 10 or greater. So yeah, so you get a free spell. Well, you pay 1 for maybe a more expensive spell with this card. It's pretty cool. Oran Reef for the Vastwood. Enters battlefield taps for a green. But you can put a 1/1 counter on each green creature that entered the battlefield this turn. So this is pretty good with, well, it's kind of like how, it is an aggressive deck. From what I've seen. I haven't played it yet, but it seems aggressive, so this seems good with it. Tranquil Thicket. Enters battlefield, cycle land. Cycle lands are good. Then I believe I run 27 Force. There's a lot of them. Alright, come on. Alright, now into the animals of the multiverse. Let's get into the animals of the zoo. Starting with Jungle Lion. It's a lion. Can't intercept. I believe that means can't block. It's been a while. I really love this deck also because when I first started playing, I remember, my mom got me one of those Portal starter decks or whatever it was, where it was like the 2 decks, and of course I had the green one. And there's gonna be one card that like is my favorite card in the Portal set, but yeah, it's a 2/1. It's actually pretty aggressive for a little Portal card. All right, next it's Tree Monkey. This is from the Portal 2 set, I believe. Just gotta have monkeys. I mean, come on. Charging Badger. We're playing with power. We gotta bring the Badger along. Spore Frog. This is like one of my favorite cards, period. I love this card. Birds of Paradise. Solid card. It's a bird, so we got it. Bear Cub. Gotta have a baby bear. And then we got his daddy, Grizzly Bear. And then we got Dawn Treader Elk. It's an elk, so why not? If you want to make this more competitive, put in Sakura Tri-Belter. It's a lot better, but we use the elk. Teamer Charger. It's a horse. It's a terrible card in Commander, but it's a horse. We can't say no to it. We need horses. Scrounging Bandar. If you guys didn't know before, this is a cat monkey. It's not just a cat. It's not just a monkey. It's a cat monkey. And that's why we're playing it. Gorilla Warrior. We need our gorilla buddy. Once again, another Portal card that I love. Skullwinder. Eternal Witness is a human. Skullwinder's a snake, so had to give up the E-Wit for the Skullwinder instead. Squirrel Nest. I mean, this card's hilarious. Like, everybody loves seeing squirrels in Magic, so that's why we got it. Grazing Gladeheart. It's an antelope. Why not? Prowling Serpapard. Indigenous to Amonkhet. It's a cat snake. It's not only a cat. It's not only a snake. It's a cat snake. So it's amazing. So we run it. It's fantastic. Pouncing Cheetah. Seems good. Gotta have our cheetahs. The Mouth to Feed, you know, first half is a newer card. You pay 3, create a 3/3 Hippo creature token. And then the Aftermath, you can pay 4 and exile this card from the graveyard to draw a card for each creature with power 3 or greater. Seems good. And this is my favorite card in Portal. When I was a kid, I absolutely loved looking at this card because of how realistic this card looked. Anaconda, I mean, it's insane. It's not a great commander card, but it works here. And the art's amazing. Flavor win. Anaconda works. Next, Stalking Tiger. It's a tiger. Can't say no to that. I don't remember him in Portal, though. He might have not have been in the starter deck, though. I could be wrong, though. I do remember Bull Hippo, though. Gotta run with Bull Hippo. I love how the pictures, like in Portal, they look so realistic. It's pretty cool. Or the art. Corey Hauler. I mean, once again, another new one. Another new card, indigenous to Amonkhet. It's a camel. We need camels in our zoo. Emperor Crocodile. Sure. It's a crocodile. We'll take it. Charging Rhino. We need rhinos in our zoo. Love rhinos. Ironhoof Ox. Yeah, it's an ox. Sure. Silklash Spider. Yes, spiders are sweet. I was confused. I kind of wanted to put Giant Spider in here, but with how the curve was, it was like I needed a 5-drop, so I put in Silklash Spider. I was like, Silklash. It was between Deadly Recluse, Silklash Spider, and of course, Giant Spider. And I really wanted Giant Spider in there, but I think Silklash Spider is actually better. And it's a better card, to be honest, so we'll run it. Meandering Tower Shell. We have a turtle. This turtle is awesome. You guys don't know what this turtle does. It's 5 mana for a 5/9 turtle with Island Walk. Whenever Meandering Tower Shell attacks, exile it, return it to the battlefield under your control tapped and attacking at the beginning of the declared attack steps on your next turn. It's terrible. It's so bad. But it's a flavor win. It's a turtle in my zoo, and also when it attacks, you know what it does before it attacks? It turtles up. It shells up. It does the turtle thing. So I like that. So that's why it's in here. It's not great, but it's zoo-ish. Rampaging Balos. This, however, is a fantastic card. It's 6 mana for a 6/6 Trampler with Landfall. When land enters the battlefield, put a 4/4 green beast creature token onto the battlefield. I mean, I've had this card take over games by itself. This card's fantastic. Hooting Mandrills. We gotta have some apes in there. We got little monkeys. We got cat monkeys. We got gorillas, and we got apes. So it seems good. Regal Behemoth. This is a big lizard. And it's actually a really good card, too. It's 6 mana for a 5/5. When it enters the battlefield, you become the monarch, which that means, you have this card, this emblem, basically. It says at the end of your turn, you get to draw a card if you're the monarch. But whenever an opponent deals damage to you, they become the monarch. So it's pretty cool. You start passing around. But you put a target on yourself because everybody likes drawing cards. So you got to be careful. But whenever you tap a land for mana while you're the monarch, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. So it doubles your mana, too. So he's a very powerful lizard. Pathbreaker Ibex. We're not doing Craterhoof Behemoth because, I'd rather have a goat. Because I already have, I believe Craterhoof Behemoth is a beast. I'd rather have a goat because we don't have a goat in here yet. So it's 6 mana for a 3/3 when Pathbreaker Ibex attacks. Creatures you control gain trample and get +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. So it's pretty sweet. It's a nice little overrun effect. This is another card that's insanely good. Giant Ataphage. It's an insect. We don't have any insects in our zoo yet, so now we do. 7 mana for a 7/7 trample. Whenever Giant Ataphage deals combat damage to a player, put a token onto the battlefield that's a copy of Giant Ataphage. So that's insane, because you attack once, make a copy of it, and then you attack twice, you make 2 copies of it. I mean, it just exponentially gets better. The card's insane, actually. The card is this is actually more of a competitive card, because this card can win games by itself. It's a really good card. Next is Howl of the Night Pack. I mean, we're playing mono green, we might as well put out as much wolves as we can. So it's 7 mana, put a 2/2 green wolf creature token onto the battlefield for each forest you control. Seems good. Just make a ton of wolves. Very good mono green card. Palaka Worm. We got some wormies. 7 mana for a 7/7 trample. When Palaka Worm enters the battlefield, you gain 7 life. When it dies, you draw a card. I've always loved this card. I usually have it in any green deck just because it gains you life and then it replaces itself. Archetype of Endurance. We got ourselves even though it's an enchant creature, it's in the zoo because it's a boar. We needed a boar. So it's 8 mana for a 6/5. Creatures you control have hexproof. Creatures your opponents control lose hexproof. and it can't have or gain hexproof. That's all right. Terastodon. Yeah, this card may be too powerful. I don't know. I've always had a question of whether or not Terastodon is scummy or not. I mean, it's like a card that you can like reanimate really early and just kind of make everybody mad at you to get rid of their lands and give them 3/3s, which isn't doing much. Um, but you know what? It's an elephant, and we need an elephant in this deck. And we don't have to worry. We're not going to reanimate or anything. We're going to get this out usually maybe a couple turns before 8. But that's still not, that's still not oppressive. But the card's sweet. It's a 9/9 for 8. And when it enters the battlefield, destroy up to 3 target non-creature permanents. For each permanent, put into the graveyard. This way its controller puts a 3/3 elephant. So you destroy their things, give them elephants, or you destroy your lands, give yourself elephants, get ready for overrun. So that's why it's really good. So now we're out of the zoo creatures into the spells, just the different types of utility spells. So we're going to go into ramp first. We go with Soul Ring because Soul Ring is a staple. Rampant Growth. It's good to ramp. Emerald Medallion, making green spells cost 1 less, is really good. Cultivate, more rampies. Harvest Season, I replaced this with Kadama's Reach. It's usually Kadama's Reach. Put Harvest Season in here, newer card from Amonkhet. It's really good in an aggressive shell because it or in elves, because it goes off of tapped creatures. So you want to be swinging constantly, and then you can Harvest Season, attacking with 4 creatures, and then you get to grab 4 things, which is insane, which is a lot better than Kadama's Reach in some spots. So that's why we're running Harvest Season. Sky Shroud Claim, one of the best ramps in green. I mean, it lets you grab 2 forest cards, and it lets you bring them right into play, untapped, which usually is, that's just really good. This ramp was really pushed. Next, Garruk Wild Speaker. I mean, come on. You have a zoo. You have animals. Garruk's got to be there. Garruk's got to come in there and be the mascot, or, just come in and say what's up to some of his beast friends. So it's, if you guys don't know what Garruk Wild Speaker does by now, it's 4 mana for 3 loyalty. Garruk Planeswalker, +1, untap 2 target lands, so rampies. -1 to put a 3/3 green beast token out, which is nice to put creatures out. And -4 to overrun, which is really good. Next we're going into our card draw package. We have Horn of Greed. Once again, since Selvala is a little bit of a... she's really into hugging. So I thought Horn of Greed was a good spot, good card to put in here for draw. Because whenever any player plays a land card, that player draws a card. So we'll all be drawing cards together in a game. It'd be fun. Lifecrafter's Bestiaries. I mean, this card's been replacing a lot of my Crystal Ball spots in certain decks. It's just really good to pay 3. At the beginning of your upkeep, always scry 1. You don't have to pay anything. And then whenever you cast a creature, you may pay 1 to draw a card. So if you're playing a very creature-heavy deck in green, this is a fantastic card for you. Next is Harmonize. This is a blue spell. It's not a green spell. It's not a green spell, but it's Harmonize. It's 4 mana, draw 3 cards. Fantastic, great rate. Not usually in green, so it's really good. Foster. This just seems like a card that Zoo wants. A card named Foster that does this thing. It's green too. Whenever a creature you control dies, you may pay 1 colorless or 1 generic. If you do, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card, put that card in your hand. So whenever a creature dies, pay 1. If they wrath the board, you got 4 creatures out, pay 4. Look at the top till you find 4 creatures, put them to your hands. Just replace it, keeps you on the aggro strategy. Next is Zendikar Resurgent. This card's insane. 7 mana, whenever you tap a land for mana, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool that land... of any type that land could produce. And whenever you cast a creature spell, draw a card. It's really good. And then we have Regrowth. Return a card from your graveyard to your hand. Just really good to get back Overrun or removal that you need, or a certain creature you need. It's really good. Now we go into the removal section. Of course, we gotta put some fight cards in here because that's what animals do. They fight things. It's their animal instinct to fight and eat and all kinds of stuff. So we have Prey Upon, just fantastic fight card. Nature's Way, maybe my new favorite. The art's flavorful, 2 mana. Target creature you control, it gains Vigilance and Trample, and then it deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. So it fights, gives that creature Vigilance and Trample for 2. It gives you so much for 2 that fight usually doesn't do. Next is Time to Feed. 3 mana, choose target creature and opponent control. When that creature dies this turn, you gain 3 life. Target creature you control fights that creature. So it's a weird type of fight card because it targets, it doesn't target to fight first. It targets an opponent's creature first, then you gain life with it. Like, it adds a clause to it and then it fights. It's weird. Next is Hunt the Weak. It's just put a 1/1 counter on your creature, then it fights. Makes it bigger than fights. Might as well. And then onto our non-creature removal, well, for the most part. Unravel the Aether. Good card to deal with gods by shuffling into the library or put back into the command zone. The Glamour is the same thing. It's just, the functional... Well, the other Unravel was the functional reprint of the Glamour. So, yeah. And Beast Within is just fantastic. It hits everything, and it gives them a 3/3 beast, staying on flavor of the zoo theme. So we're running Beast Within. Perilous Vault. It's always good to have an no crap button. If the board's getting out of hand, you just exile it all. Strong card. I don't know how much these are, but I was picking a bunch of them up when they were at like $2 just because the card's fantastic. And I'm also going to try this new card, Wave of Vitriol or something. 7 mana. Each player sacrifices all artifacts, enchantments, and non-basic lands he or she controls. For each land sacrificed this way, its controller may search his or her library for a basic land card and put it onto the battlefield tapped. Then each player who searched shuffles their library. It's really cool. I mean, it's not scummy where it's like, okay, all your non-basic lands are gone. It gets rid of them, but then it says, guys, you guys can fix back up. It gets rid of problem lands, gets rid of all the artifacts and enchantments that you're worried about. So it's really good. And Graveyard Hate, Tormod's Crypt, of course, really good. Relic of Progenitus, more Graveyard Hate, really good. Then we have another Fog, Arachnogenesis. If we're going to Fog, we might as well make 1/2 spiders for each creature attacking me, right? I think so. Seems good. And then your spiders, and then prevent all damage from non-spider creatures. Seems good. Next is way to win the game. Guy's Anthem's not really a way to win the game. It's just a good way to just start, to keep the aggro going. It's 2 green, 1 colorless. Creatures you control get +1/+1. I mean, thank God. This card was expensive. Thank God they reprinted it in the Modern Master set. Next, Beastmaster Ascension. This card's insane. Nuts. This card will win you the game easily by giving everything +5/+5. It's just nuts. It's just really good. Overrun. I mean, it's on theme with animals, with the zoo. You want to overrun with the animals. And also Overwhelming Stampede. Why not? You're playing zoo. You're playing zooish creatures. You might as well Overwhelming Stampede. I just wish they weren't... I mean, it's cool that there's a bunch of elves in the background, but I wish there were just more animals in the background like Overwhelming Stampede. But that is my zoo commander deck. Mono green zoo commander deck with Selvala Heart of the Wilds. Let me know what you guys think of this video. Let me know if you guys love the flavor. Let me know if you guys hate it more competitive. I'm sorry for the competitive players. It's not a competitive deck. But maybe, I think next time I do a video, it's going to be an update to my deck. What is it? Vial Smasher and Kydel, because I updated that. I updated it to make it more and less competitive. I got rid of some cards I thought were scummy. Maybe added some cards that might be scummy. I don't know. We'll see. You'll let me know then, too. I will eventually have a link to the deck list of this deck in the description below. I haven't done that yet, but I should eventually do it. Maybe the video will go up before that, before I get the description. I won't have the description, the link. I'll have a description, but I won't have a link yet. But I'll eventually get that up. So, yeah. Let me know what you guys think. And take it easy, guys. Bye-bye.